All right, guys, welcome back to Deep Soul with Ebony on 92Q. We're here.
Sorry.
We're here with the amazing Bentely Caldwell. You are incredible.
I mean, just keep talking.
I just keep on talking. Just keep on going. Tell me more.
Tell
How
me more
great I
about
am.
myself, please.
So you was talking about how you went to South Korea
Yeah,
to
yeah.
teach.
Yeah.
So was teaching your first thing to do? Like
No. That was the first thing I was going to get paid for out of college.
Oh,
So I was like,
so I'll do that.
we can
That
do that.
sounds great.
We can do that. Yeah.
So how was it? How was South Korea?
It was great. It was great. It was fun. Like, it was like a big, like, move, as like young adult, it's like, oh, I'm going to go from small Paducah, Kentucky, Bowling Green, Kentucky to even smaller Gumi, South Korea.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was bigger.
It's like, but it was just like, it was a lot of growth. Like,
Yeah.
for example, like I took my first cab ride in South Korea. I took my first train in South Korea.
Yeah.
It's like things like, because, we don't have cabs in Paducah, Kentucky.
Right.
It's not a train or transit system. And, and so it
Yeah.
was just kind of really cool. And then like the country of South Korea is like the size of the state of Indiana. And so one of the largest cities in the world is in South Korea, Seoul. So it was kind of cool to be able to like go from my little town and to go to Seoul, which is basically like New York
Yeah.
with Asians, and just like, I mean, and it was huge. Like, I mean, like, that's literally how,
I was
that's
just
the best way
rest in
to,
that moment.
I mean, let's just think about that.
I was just rest in that moment.
And now we're back.
Now we're back.
No, but yeah, and so it was like, it was so cool for me because, like, I would buy like GQ magazines and things like that, and it'd be like, oh man, I'll never be able to like buy that. You
Yeah.
know, like Art Dillard's didn't carry these things, and,
Yeah.
but then it'd be like, I could buy like a GQ at my train station in Gumi, and then 2 hours
yeah.
later be able to buy whatever I saw in that magazine in real life.
Oh, wow.
And it was just like,
Mind blown.
I was like, so it was great. It was probably one of the best experiences that I'd had. And then obviously like I learned to play the guitar and
Yeah.
really like kind of was able to like hone my crafts because I didn't have anything else to do. Like I literally like taught, played soccer, and played guitar. That was it. So
When you came back here, what made you go heavy into music? Okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I want.
unemployment.
Oh.
Yeah, I was. I come back like right, like as the recession was like super heavy. So like when I went over, Bush was the president. As I was there, Obama began his first term, and so when I came back, it was like there are no jobs for you. He's like, why did you stay? Why didn't you stay? And so I was like living back like at my mom's house, like. I mean, and like applying for jobs was my job. Like it was like, all right, I wake up, apply for 5 jobs, and then go like work on music,
Yeah.
and then try to go to like get some songs together, go to like an open mic and play these songs. So like, yeah. So that was basically why I went into music a little bit more, is because I didn't have anything else to do. So it was kind of cool.
But you're really good at it.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know if I can be like, yeah, girl, I am.
I'm
I mean, I'm just a boy with a dream.
No, but you're great at songwriting, and your music in itself is symbolism. You talk about a lot of things in love and racial tensions in America in itself. You talk about all of that, and it's stuff that people don't want to touch on.
Yeah.
It's stuff that artists themselves, and we talked about this before, they don't feel like they should touch on. But it's like, come on. So why do you feel like you have to use your music as your message?
I just believe that like as artists, we're given a platform. We're given gifts, and then we're also given a platform to express those gifts or use those gifts. So it's like I just feel like as an artist, like it's our task, it's our duty. Like that's what we're supposed to do. It's like you can talk about the fluff stuff all day, but the things like for me, I believe that good music should move you either emotionally, physically, or mentally. And it's like if it doesn't do even one of those things, it's not good music. And I feel like it should do all 3, or at least 2 of the 3. To make you go, man, like, got me here, or man, that made me think, or dude, I stank face the whole time. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah. So I think, yes, I think, it is our duty as artists to speak for those who can't speak for themselves.
And your music, your new album, The Place That I Call Home, it does all of that.
Thanks.
It does all of that. Like I told you before, I was on my way here driving the car, and I'm like, I'm crying. Why am I crying? What is wrong with me? But because it was, because your music, it hits you on like the heart and the mind, and it's like so much is with it. So let's go into the song itself, The Place That I Call Home.
Okay, cool.
You are more than just talking about. It's not about Kentucky. It's not about right.
It is not.
It's just about America in itself.
Yes.
So tell me what ignited the mind to write this song.
I think for me, it was all of the unarmed black men being killed by police officers. I think so. If I'm being transparent, so the Michael Brown thing, I was like, I mean, they kind of had a fight, but it's just like, yeah, he was running away, but they kind of had like an altercation. But then the Eric Gardner thing, I was like, he didn't do anything wrong. Like he literally was like standing on a side of on a corner.
Right.
Yeah, he was standing on a corner. Yeah, he was selling loose cigarettes, but like they literally choked him out.
Yeah.
And it was on camera. And he's screaming, I cannot breathe. And it was just like, and I remember when that happened, I immediately was like, it is dangerous to be black in America at this point, especially a black man, and so the band that I was playing with, my bass player was like, oh, dude, I got this little bass line. And I was like, all right. So I just like recorded it. Then I went home, picked out the chords from that bass line, and then that song literally just like poured out of me, and it was just like, and then I finished it and I was like, oh, wow, and it's just
powerful.
Yeah,
it's
and there's
powerful.
there's a lot of symbolism and imagery in that, as far as just like, the first verse is about the mother and the father, where it's like, your parents always will give you different advice.
Yeah.
Like your mom was always like, baby, come here and let's they just pull you in and like, let's pray and let's, like that's, but then your father's like, man, you better go out there and fight, and so it's just like, and so for me, it was like, okay, like my mom always says, son, you got to pray, and then my father always said, son, you got to fight, and then in the second verse, I began, just thinking about how, like, the country at that point was, like, on the brink of civil war. I mean, it was just like, oh, like, everybody was either the cops right and this guy was a thug, or people were like, he wasn't a thug, he was a good young black man, and, the police are wrong, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, we're literally on the brink of civil war, and it's us against ourselves, and then the last little stanza is, just talking about, like, how, guns have infiltrated, the black communities, and it was just like, they gave my son a gun and armed him with a lie. You're fighting for your life, but the more we fight, we die. And it was like that thing of like, like anytime we push back, so I don't know, but yeah, so that's just kind of where it came from. And then to really, like, I guess drive the message home, or more so to prime people's ears. I had one of my friends from back home in Kentucky put a spoken word poetry piece on it, just so it could like get people's minds primed to receive the song and let them know that I'm not talking about Kentucky. I'm talking about
America,
United States of America. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And you're performing that for us today. Yeah.
I mean, if you want me to.
I mean,
yeah, I am.
Okay, so I'm excited, and I hope y'all are excited to hear it. So when we come back, you're going to have a special performance by the one and only soul singer, Bentely Caldwell.
So there's actually two of us?
Okay, there's two of us.
There's just one.
Stay tuned for more, y'all. Stay tuned.